Hello, I hope you're having fun today at our World Card Making event here in the World Card Making group. Vicky's been on for 3 of our make and takes this morning, and now it's my turn. We're running this to coincide with Stampin' Up's World Card Making Day, just to give you a little bit more variety. This is, I think, our 3rd or 4th year that we've run it. So my name's Sharon Dalton. I'm from Central Queensland, and I've been a Stampin' Up demonstrator almost 10 years. On the 9th of October I will be celebrating my 10th anniversary, so it's pretty exciting. I love so many of their products, so it's easy for me to make my quarterly minimums. So I'll get into the card that I'm making today. We're going to be using Darling Details and the coordinating dies that go with it. So if you buy the bundle, you get that for 10% cheaper. And then we're also going to be using the delightful Doily Hybrid 3D. So these dies here fit inside this embossing folder, and then you can run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. And then we're going to use Oceanfront, this image here. We're going to do some masking on that image, and the deckled circles, we're going to use a couple of those. Now, as I said, we're running in conjunction with the Stampin' Up World Card Making Day, so I hope you've been enjoying yourself. Right, let's get into it. So like I said, I was going to do some masking. Stampin' Up have some masking paper in their catalogue on page 151. I've already stamped on my paper, so I'll show you that. So this here, so this paper has a shiny side, and that's the bit you peel off so that you can stick it to your thing that you want to mask off. So then I've done a flower and a leaf. Well, I've got some that I've previously done, so we won't be using those. I'll just grab them out of the case here. As you can see, I've used them a few times now, and then this one over here. So let's get cracking. Let's get started. So we have an insert for our card. All the measurements and the colours that I've used are on the cheat sheet, and we have a bubble bath card base there. Then I've run this sweet sorbet paper cardstock through the embossing folder, so you can see it's already embossed. That one's going to go there. And then we've got some of the delightfully eclectic paper. There's, I think, you get 4 sheets of every paper anyway. I think there's 12 sheets in there, so that one's going to go there. And then our next thing with this is the doily. So as you can see, this one's still got a couple of little pieces in there. Now I'll grab that doily back. So, oh, actually, I just used the die for that one. So your piece will say 4x4, and I've just used the die and run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and then we have that. Now, if you wanted to, you could use a smaller die and cut the middle out of that one. Here's one I've prepared earlier. Because I'm a bit frugal like that, I can use that again. So I'm going to pop that one on there. Put my dies back in here so I don't lose them. I've just got a little magnetic tray from the auto shop, and I just put that when I'm working with dies. So we'll get that out of the road. And then we've got a deckled circle, which is, I think, the 7th from the middle of the deckled circles. So that one I've already pre-cut, so that one's going to go on top of there. And then we're going to do some stamping. Now, as I said, I've pre-cut a lot of stuff to make it a little bit quicker for you. Righto. So these are the things I've already pre-stamped, so you don't have to watch me fussy cut. So this one here is Bubble Bath with first generation sweet sorbet, but this one here is Bubble Bath with second generation, and that's the one we're going to use. And this leaf, it's actually 3 stamps to do this leaf. I will show you how I've done that one. So yeah, and then whatever sentiment you want to put. So I think my piece of paper is about 5 1/4 by 4, I think. But all the measurements will be there. So I'll grab a piece of paper to show you how I've done these leaves. So I'll just move that out of the road for a minute. Now, because we're using photopolymer, sorry, I have to sit down to do this. I'm going to use my Stamp and Pierce mat. Okay, just move that out of the side. Now, with this, we're going to be using Garden Green. There we go. Get that there. I can see I'm going to have a disaster with that, so I'm going to move it. Now, I always find when you're stamping with these solid images that it's easier to stamp the outline and then stamp the solid image. So that's what I'm going to do with the leaves. So we've got 3 leaves there, parts for the leaf. So first up, I'm going to do the outline. Now, I don't want a really solid outline, so I'm going to stamp off onto this piece, and then I'm going to stamp there. So that's one. And now the second one, I'm going to use the actual infill of the leaf. So on this one, I'm going to do it first generation. And the beauty of this is that you can see through them. Hopefully I lined that up. Oh yeah, pretty good. And then now to get the infill, I'm going to use the solid image. And then I'm going to stamp off because I don't want it very dark. And then again, because you can see where you've stamped, you can line it up and get it perfect every time. So there's our leaves. You can do that any way you like, with any color that you like. And if you don't have this set, it doesn't matter. You use what you've got in your stash. Okay, so now I'll move that back out of the road. I'll give these a quick clean. Just using my simple chamois here, just to give them a quick clean. Now, this one here that we're going to use, we're going to start with a mask because I want to put some leaves behind my flower, and I want to put them in before I actually stamp my background. So it's come apart, so I'm just gonna join it back up. There we go. Oh, maybe a little bit more. That's a bit better. Yeah, because I want to be able to see my leaf behind my flower. So we're going to use this one. We're going to use this oceanfront image. Now, being a photopolymer again, and being a big image, I'm going to actually ink, put the ink to the stamp rather than the stamp in the ink pad, because you get a much, and then see what happens. You get one of those little pesky, I'll have to clean that off now, pesky things out of the doily. Just bear with me here. There we go. Still stuck on there. Right, let's see how we go now. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to bring the ink to the stamp, and then you can see if it's totally covered then. So now we're just going to position it. My leaf might be a bit high actually. Might bring it down a little bit more. Now, as I said, this is double-sided sticky, so, well, not double-sided, but one-sided sticky, so you can just pick it up and move it, and you can keep these in your stamp case. There we go. Yeah, I think I'll much prefer that placement. Righto. So we're just going to line that up there. Now make sure you've got your Stampin' Pierce mat underneath this so you can get a much better image. And then we just pull that off. And you'll see once we start to get this together at the front, you'll see why I've put the leaf mask there. There we go, just pull it up gently and then just keep them in your stamp case. And then now we're going to stamp our leaf in here. So same thing again, what I did before. Alright, so the outline. So just line that back up now. I hope I'm still in view. There we go. And then we're going to use this one, the details, fill it in. There we go. Oh, I missed that one a little bit, but it's pretty good. And now our solid one. There we go. Now you've got a little bit of a halo there, but that's not really going to matter because we're going to put our flower on top of that. I'll just put these in here to be cleaned. I don't get ink on things I don't want ink on. I don't know about you, but I tend to get ink everywhere. Now, we've got this part of our card done. Now, as I said before, I've gone ahead and I've pre-stamped all of our images. So I'm just going to stick this flower there. So see how it looks like the leaf is behind the flower? So that's what I've done for that. And then, because I want a bit of dimension, I'm actually going to use my bone folder and I'm going to curl these leaves a little bit. Now, make sure you hold them in the middle here because it's got that very fine join. If you pull too hard, you will break your leaf. So just, you know, just be warned. So you can see now how it's got a little bit of depth and dimension to it. So because I've got that on there, I'm just going to put it on a bit of an angle so you can see the other leaves underneath. I might go this way a bit. So yeah, so we're just going to use some dimensionals. It's very windy here today and my blinds are bashing, I'm sorry. So I'm going to put one just there. Yeah, I didn't think you'd want to see me die cutting, so I thought I'll quickly die cut everything out. So yeah, so we want to be able to see those other leaves behind there. And then now we're going to stick our flower on. So I'm going to use a large dimensional for that one. Now same thing again, if you want to give it some texture, just curl it with your bone folder both ways, so you've got, you know, a little bit of depth and dimension to it. See? Oh, I'm nearly out of dimensionals here. But anyway, so you're just going to pop those on. Now you may have used the masking technique before, but I just thought it's a fun technique to revisit. And then also, depending on your card, you can choose to use Happy Birthday, or you can choose to use whatever you want. Now I did have a Happy Birthday card here, but you know what it's like, they always disappear on you when you least expect it. But here's another one I've got prepared in this packet, so I'll pull it out and use it. There we go. So there's our Happy Birthday already cut up. Just pop them back in there. Okay. So all I've done is stamped and then just cut on an angle there for that one, and I'm going to slip it in there. Okay, so again we'll need some dimensionals. Here's some dimensionals. You could just glue this one to the thing. Actually, I might just do that. I might just glue this one down, because I'm going to put a bow near it, so I'm just going to pop that in there. Of course I'd get glue on the outside edge. There we go. Alright, I can move that out of the road because we're not doing any more stamping just at this very minute. So that's our front. So let's actually quickly put this together. So, oh, where's my ribbon? Where's my ribbon? Let's have a look. You need about, I don't know, I think I said 10 inches, but I think that's a bit of overkill. Just make yourself a small ribbon. Yeah, I might start again with that one, because you don't need a very big one. This ribbon that I'm using is the metallic ribbon that coordinates with last year's in colours. This one's called Sweet Sorbet. Alright, there we go. Just chop that. And now we need a glue dot. Right. There we go. Just keep moving it until you're happy with it. Could go down a little bit lower. Yeah, that's better. You can see a bit more of it then. Okay, let's quickly put this together. We'll do the insert in a minute. So there's our front. Now, because you've got a embossed background, make sure you put a lot of glue on this just to hold it down, because it's got to get into all those little grooves. Now, I always open my card up to add anything to it. Now, how are we looking there? Looks pretty good. And then you're going to put your piece of DSP, which I said this is from the Delightfully Eclectic DSP. There we go. Now, here is our doily that we've already pre-cut. Who of you starts out all nice and neat and then goes very messy very quickly? Well, that would happen to be me. So we're just going to stick this one down. Now, you don't need to add a lot of glue to it because you're going to cover it with that other circle that we've just decorated there. So you don't need lots of glue. So in these thicker bits, just add some glue in there and that will be enough to hold it down then. There we go. Now just evenly line it up so that you've got about matching top and bottom. Now I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this one. I see some people, they actually colour their dimensionals so that you can see which ones they've taken the backs off. I don't do that. I just stick them down and then I go along and find them and hopefully I've got them all off. Let's peel them off now. As I said, this is a very simple card, this one. Righto, all the shiny's gone off them. Okay, so then we're going to stick our front panel on our doily. So like I said, you don't get to see a lot of it, so why waste that middle insert? Cut it out and keep it for another project. It just gives you more diversity then that you can use on another project. Okay, so now we're going to do the middle insert. With that, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm not going to do the leaf as the mask. I'm going to do the flower as the mask this time. So this one here, I've already pre-cut and pre-used before, so I'm going to use that one. So here it is here. So I'm going to stick that in there. And then this will show you what it looks like with the leaf behind your flower. But we need to bring this ink back in, and I don't want to get it on my card, so I'm going to move it to the other side. Can you still see that? Oh yeah, you can. Righto, I need to bring my Stamp and Pierce mat back in. Just makes it a little bit better to get a better coverage. Okay, so we're going to start off with that outline image. I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to pop that down there. Okay, clean that off, put that to the side. Now I'm going to do the infill. It's a bit hard when your head's in the road. There we go. And then now the solid one. Again with the solid one, I always use it last because I find it easier to be able to line up. So making that second generation now. There we go. Now we'll peel this mask off. I'm going to close that ink up first. Don't want any disasters. Righto. Then we peel this mask off. Just peel it off gently. go. Stick it back inside your case. There we go. And then that extra flower that we had stamped, we can pop on there. So it looks like the leaf is actually behind our flower. And then you just lay it over there. And then it looks like the leaves are behind your flower. So, because I'm using a happy birthday, I'm not going to put any sentiment in the middle of this one. I'll just leave that till the time that I can find the right one. Now we'll just glue that in. Hope you enjoyed that. And we'll be back again tomorrow with some more. I'm going to be using textured floral tomorrow and handmade hugs. So check those out in your catalogue. There we go. And there's our card finished. See how you can see? So yeah, all the dimensions and that will be put on the cheat sheet. Vicky will put that up for you to get, and then I will put the photo of the card in the album once the video has finished. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Okay, bye.